Lodge. I am the business advisor. Hey, it's Sunday. I hope all of you turn your clocks back, fall back. No, what is it? Yeah, it's fall back, right? Fall back, spring forward, fall back, spring forward. So we're in the fall, so we're falling back. Listen, it's a beautiful day here. It's about 75 degrees and everything is in bloom. Everything is perfect. I mean, it's a perfect fall day. Most of the leaves have pretty much fallen down from the trees now, so it's less messy. I was thinking today about electric vehicles, EVs for short, and I was thinking, is it really advisable to purchase an EV at the moment? And I'm talking personally for myself, and I was going through the thought process of, is it right to buy an EV? Are the tax benefits there, or is the infrastructure there? And that was the concern that I had, because I'm looking for a new car at the moment. I'm looking to purchase a car because my little Hyundai is just about ready to go to car heaven, I think. But I'm looking at the cost benefits and the economic side of purchasing a car. I was reading an article, which is listed down below in the notes of this podcast, where electric vehicles, EVs, okay, for short. EV manufacturers are having a problem at the moment. They're having an issue with bringing the cost down so that it's affordable to people in our level, in our income level. $70,000 for a car, $50,000 for a car, $70,000, $80,000 for an EV is a very high price to think about. It is just not feasible for the average American people. Then you have to think about, okay, is the infrastructure there to support all of these EVs that the government wants to put in place right now? And it's not. So EV manufacturers are saying, okay, let's push back a little bit. Let's slow down because we're unable to sell the cars that we have in inventory at the moment. There's been some reduction in EV prices, but not enough to justify a person like myself and you to go out and purchase an EV. So the manufacturing companies, the auto manufacturing companies are holding back at the moment. In fact, Musk said that he was going to hold back on a $1 billion plant down in Mexico. He made that comment this past week. The other manufacturing companies are saying, okay, let's hold back on putting any more investment into this until we know exactly how we're going to reduce these costs to meet the ability for the majority of our consumers to be able to purchase an electronic vehicle. Then the push is also going to be on the government themselves. We don't have enough electricity at the moment to provide electric for the homes of America. We have that problem every single summer. In fact, in California, they said, hold off in charging your vehicles until we go through this period where we may have some blackouts. So our infrastructure just is not there yet. I wish it was. I would love to drive a really nice, sporty EV, but it's just not feasible for me right now. Now, I wanted to talk about the tax issues with an EV. So I'm going to read a lot of this. So, and I'll post it down below so that you can see it. So it reads like this: don't forget about the tax credit for buying an EV. Many new EVs qualify for a credit of up to $7,500. The break is up to $4,000 if buying a used EV. Some high-cost EVs aren't eligible. The manufacturer suggested retail price can't exceed $55,000 for sedans and $80,000 for vans, SUVs, and pickup trucks. There is also an income limit. Modified adjusted gross income can't exceed $300,000 for couples, $225,000 for household heads, or $150,000 for singles. For used EV buyers, the modified AGI thresholds are 150,000, 112,500, and 75,000, respectively. If you wait until 2024 to buy an EV, you can opt to monetize the credit by transferring it to the dealer at the time of purchase, thus lowering the amount you will pay for the car. This allows you to take immediate advantage of the credit instead of having to wait until you file your federal income tax return. So that's the rules of an EV. Now, the problem is, do you qualify? Or are you purchasing a car, an EV that is more than that $55,000 limit? And I would suspect that if you're buying now, you're buying $55,000 to $70,000, $80,000 to purchase one of these EVs. So the tax credit is there, but you've got to fall within an income slot and also a purchase slot on the value or the price of that EV. So I come back to my question. To me, anyway. Now, I'm not talking about you guys. You guys can take my words and you can shove them down into a hole someplace. But for me, as I'm thinking this process through, it's not economic advantage for me to purchase an EV at the moment. It's not economic because it's too costly. It's not economic because probably the tax benefits just are not there. The infrastructure is not there to support my wanting to drive miles and miles or go on a road trip in an EV. If you talk about a gasoline car, you can pull into any gas station, 10 minutes, you've got gas, you can buy a Slurpee. With an EV, you're there for 35 minutes to an hour. So there's that trade-off, right? Do I want the ability just to go someplace and not have to worry? Or do I have to sit down and plan out my road trip to make sure that I've got places to plug in my car in case I get down to a dangerously low spot where it's going to shut down my car and shut down everything in my car? So for me, I've come to the conclusion that it's not right for me at the moment. You have to decide whether or not if you can afford it. You have to decide if it's an economic advantage to you, if you qualify for the tax benefits, and do you have the infrastructure to support your road trips? Or are EVs just to be used around the city? Maybe that's the answer. It's just to be used around and commute within the city. I don't know. But for me, I'm going to pass on EVs at the moment, and I'll look for a gas guzzler, as you guys want to call it, in the green world, in the EV world. But I'm sorry, I have to go to a gasoline vehicle. One, because it's cost effective for me. I can go on any road trip and not have to worry about gasoline, and the infrastructure is there for me. So there you go. That's my decision. I don't know what your decision will be, but right now, EVs are not it for me. Listen, if you would like to sit down and talk about business issues confidentially, you can schedule an appointment with me online at www.lodge-co.com, which is right here. You see this email address right here? Those of you listening to me on a radio podcast, I'm pointing to my website, www.lodge-co.com. If you have a business question, you can send it to me at thebusinessadvisor@gmail.com. Everybody go out and have a great day. If you haven't done it yet, turn your clocks back. It's time. I thought the Senate had passed a bill. I thought Senator Rubio had passed a bill that we were going to not have to change our clock backs anymore, but obviously it has not passed. Talk with you soon. This is Mike Lodge. Have a great Sunday and a great week. Bye-bye.